TR with Casper's Truck Equipment, here to introduce to you the Henderson BrineXtreme Infinity today. We'll take a look at the machine, its functions, and let you know a little bit more about its capabilities. The BrineXtreme Infinity has a 5 cubic yard hopper, which is on this side of the machine. Our finished product is on this side of the machine. We can see a small weld line coming down. That is the floor. So all of our product is being forced towards the finished product side. The freshwater intake bar is on this side, which ingests the water into the hopper, and we'll show you some video of that running. On the other side is our filter screens, so all of the brine it produces is triple filtered. There's 2 sets of stainless steel grates that the brine flows through, followed by a fine mesh screen on the finished brine side. So everything's triple filtered by the time it makes it into the finished brine side of the hopper. The recirculation bars are in the right side of the hopper, and again we'll show you where those are and how those work. So basically we're ingesting our water below the salt to keep the spray down. It's forcing the liquid to come to the center. As the liquid builds up in the hopper, it's going to waterfall through the 2 screen areas, and if we're not at concentration when the pump is running, it will actually ingest the water back into the hopper, and that's going to force it straight down again through the salt to try to increase the salinity, again forcing the water down to the bottom, swirling around for maximum absorption. Again, on this side, this is the finished brine side of the hopper. There are screens up in there that the product is waterfalling through. Those screens can become plugged with anti-caking agents and gravel dust that's in the salt. So periodically through the brine making process, we do have 2 spray bars that actually spray fresh water and then move back and forth in a sweeping motion to clean that screen off and prevent it from plugging. All of our salt is moving down again through the hopper. When it gets to the bottom, there are 2 sets of flapper doors. The flapper doors are on a timer. We will open one of the flapper doors to let some of the undissolved material through and clean it with a spray of water momentarily. It will then come down, try to get dissolved again. If it does not get dissolved in that period of time, that bottom flapper door will open, again with a rinse of water to clear it, and then it will finally meet a horizontal auger that's running the length of the machine. It takes approximately 12 to 13 minutes for product to travel from one end of the machine to the other. When it does finally reach the end of the machine, our vertical auger is continuously running, and it's going to funnel out any undissolved material, rocks, clay, sticks and stones, whatever may be in there, will come up the vertical auger and fall out into a hopper or containment system of your choice. On the business end of the machine, again, this is where all of our functions happen. We've got our horizontal auger on the bottom, then moving upwards, our lower trap door, our upper trap door, and the 2 spray bars, which actually clean those when the door is open. This is our freshwater rinse to our screen. And again, this cylinder will cause those bars to pivot and spray the screens off and clean it. And this is the fresh water coming in. If we're not at salinity, it will revert back to the hopper again. And that's where the water is introduced right here to have a second pass through the salt and try to increase the salinity. All of the functions on the machine operate off from air. So we do have an onboard air compressor that runs the air for the cylinders, or if this was permanently mounted, we would need shop air there. This particular machine, being a trailer mounted unit, has the pump in the enclosure. This has the Pro controls, so it just has the pump for brine production. The Infinity machine, if we would add the Ultimate controls, that would give us the capabilities to fill trucks, and that would move the pump from inside the compartment out to on a skid of its own. So basically what we've got is our fresh water coming in. It's being controlled, again, by air-operated valves. These valves will open and close to let the fresh water to the various functions of the machine. This is our suction hose for the pump. So this is sucking out of the hopper, bringing it up through the pump. We're pulling our brine sample right here. We're pulling that sample to run to our refractometer. Our refractometer is reading the salinity of the salt as well as calibrating that sample for temperature. All automatically, there's nothing for you to do. It will then run it through the computer and it will tell it, is it up to my salinity? If it is, it'll pump it back out into the tank. If it is not, that ball valve will turn the other direction and it'll actually go back to the hopper to try to get that salinity increased. Trailer mounted Infinity is actually using the Pro controls. The Pro controls is just dedicated to brine production. If this were a permanent installation, we could upgrade it to the Ultimate controls, which would give us the capability to run multiple pumps at the same time, as well as truck filling stations off from that same unit. Again, the motor for this and the pump, this is a 100-gallon per minute unit. So with a good water supply, we're able to produce right around 6,500 gallons of brine per hour with this particular unit. Going to the screen, the interactive screen, simply going to tell it how many gallons we want. Our salinity is already pre-programmed, as well as all the functions in the machine. So all we have to do is hit the start button to begin production. And we have 2 floats in the finished brine side, a low float, which will prevent the pump from kicking on until there's sufficient water flow. And on the opposite side, there's an upper float, which will shut the water off at the time the hopper is completely full of water. So we'll go ahead and run an 800-gallon batch and just show you how the machine works. Augers will start right away. The water's filling, and as soon as that finished brine side gets up to the lower float, it will kick the pump on. It'll then try to read the sample, and if not up to the 23.3, it'll induce it back into the hopper and try to bring the brine up. Once it hits that 23.3%, it'll pump it off to our storage tank of any type. Thanks for watching our video. Casper's Truck Equipment is Wisconsin distributor for the Henderson BrineXtreme. If you have any more questions, need to reach out to us, want some pricing, reach out to Casper's Truck Equipment. And again, thanks for watching our video.